What'd you think of the Cup? I watched the whole Stanley Cup final.
And you don't watch that much.
No, I go to sleep.
What
That's
did
what
I
I do.
what
What did
did I
you think?
think of it? I was excited because
You watched the whole game, yes?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched all of it.
It's a late night for us.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. Everything's off.
I know.
I've been going to bed past 8 o'clock,
I know.
sleeping in past 5.
Yeah.
No, the Stanley Cup was awesome. I think that was a great series. You? Yeah, I thought that was a great series. And then I was really excited because I had a couple players in it that I was gonna be happy one way or another because I had a couple players that on either team that if they won the cup, I would be able to text them and say, "Way to go!" So I was really excited about that. So that was cool. But the series itself was awesome. And then what I loved about the series, like we could talk about the series forever, really, because on one hand, it's really funny. On one hand, including us, we're talking about how individual skills doesn't win you. It's a team game, right? And then what was it, a day or two after? It's not like you ever doubt Connor McDavid, and just I'm not backtracking or covering my ass. The caveat to everything is like, but that player himself can change a game or a series, and that's what he did for at least a couple games, where he no, like unbelievable, right? But at the end of the day, you watch the guys basically who we talk about that contribute, right? The Verhage in Florida. Is that it? No, but like in Edmonton, you just had all these
I
like the
like
Janmarks.
Janmark, Brown.
Yeah, it was just awesome. The depth of Edmonton was like so good. But then, hey, it's hard to win 4 in a row, right? And then the goaltending, how it could just was it good goaltending, bad goaltending? Not necessarily. Some of the goals were just like how you stop them.
So the
Yeah.
Reinhardt goal you saw,
Yeah.
because I was talking to guards the other day about it, and he was like, "Yeah, man, like that was such a shit goal."
Yeah,
And I was like, "But the like
there's a lot going on
Draisaitl
there.
got his stick in the way, like
Yeah.
it kind of bit of a
Net
redirect,
drive.
whatever. It's a lot to manage on the goalie side, but those are the kinds of goals, though, right? Do you see the 3 goals in the final? Right, it's a tip, it's a shot, and then was the one break for what's his name on Edmonton, right? The stretch pass. So it's like the kind of goals that you're seeing are those you get the one lucky break, but most of them are like the tip, the screen, the deflection. Like these are the kinds of things that that end up winning the games. But man, what a series! And Edmonton was there the whole way. I said to you, just like with the Memorial Cup with Saginaw London, just before, like I think it was the day before, I was like, I can't see Florida losing 4 straight.
And it just comes down to one game.
It's just one, and it could go either way. I was
Yeah.
talking to Dan Crosby was asking me about it from BioSteel too. He's just like, who do you think is gonna win? I was like, I'm a fence sitter, man. I don't know. Like it could go either way, but I got a hard time. Florida's got to win one. They got to win one,
Yeah,
right?
and they got such a good team.
Right. So I could see it too. The one play, I don't know if you remember. It was late in the game. Barkov's on the ice, and they highlighted it. The commentators were talking about a little bit how offensive zone face-off opportunity to jump in offensively, but then Barkov noticed McDavid's behind him, and he just like pulled back out,
went defensive.
right, go defensive. So
Smart,
yeah, smart offensive player. Like his
Uh-huh.
inclination is to jump in on the offensive side, but there you could see he literally in the replay looked over his shoulder, saw McDavid, and then he totally reversed course to get back on the D side, which is
which is stuff
cool.
You don't see.
Yeah, it's the stuff that you wouldn't pay attention to. Right?
You can see the highlights and all that, but it's the stuff the little things that make all the difference, right? Like the question is McDavid, that he was somewhere in his brain, or not somewhere, but he was in his brain trying to take that game over because he can, but you have 5 guys saying that you can't. So it's like, but it was awesome. And what I loved is because Dalton Prout, who's a very good friend of ours, he's a pro scout for Florida, and he was at the last few games. He sent me a nice pic. I'll show you the pic after.
Cool. Will he get a ring too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's sick.
Oh yeah. But he was really excited for some of the older guys in the organization that combined their NHL hockey experience, like Rick Dudley and Les Jackson. 100 years of NHL hockey experience. They have never won a cup, so they finally got their cup. But Dalton was saying that it was electric especially the last game in Florida. Says it was electric. He goes, it's nuts, and it was obviously. But did you Edmonton? my God.
Yeah.
It was just like blue collar, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like those are true
town, man.
fans,
Yeah.
love the team. Like that makes you want to play for the Edmonton
See how many
Oilers.
Edmonton jerseys were in Florida,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
would have loved to see the breakdown on who made
Yeah.
the trip.
yeah.
That's
well,
what
the
I'd like to see.
Canadian markets are absolutely unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable.
That was the only thing. Not that I even really care, but it's something that people say a lot of. Like, you want to see a Canadian team win the cup and whatever. And I feel like I don't actually care that much, but it would be cool. Like, it would be nice to have it in a Canadian city, just because everyone would go ape shit. But that was, what a game, man. What a final game. Like, you couldn't ask for a better 1-goal game, right down to the last few seconds, last minute of the game, whatever.
And then I texted Aaron. I didn't text Aaron Ekblad the night of because and he doesn't want to hear from me, right? Even though a lot of people, I was showing you yesterday how many people like to take
I was going to bring
credit
this up. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, you could do that after.
Yeah.
But I texted him yesterday and I said, I didn't even say congratulations. I just said unreal. I said have fun. So he texted me back. He goes, I haven't slept one wink yet. That was like almost 24 hours after. I said, don't have fun. But did you see Aaron when he got the cup? Like, it was he was dying for that. He was just from the bottom of his heart so excited. Like I was happy for him. I was like, I don't get too emotional about stuff like that. It's like I'm happy for people and stuff, but knowing the kid, it's like good for you, man. That's unreal.
I want to talk about that a little bit. But first I want you to couple comments about the take credit, people trying to take credit for the so you got a couple messages, like one right after the other, about just like, hey, like you
Okay, can I'm very uncomfortable talking about it because now it's going to sound like it's an undercover brag that I don't want to brag about, but it's goddamn, it's not. Yeah. So Charlie and I were watching the game and it's over and my phone goes off 3-4 times. So I look and I'm not dissing the people that said this because they don't understand my head. But they're like, hey, congratulations on the cup. Your fingerprints are all over it now. I'm like, what? Because of training Aaron, right? And I got like a few of them and it's like, oh man, I'm so uncomfortable. So I didn't even respond. I responded to one because he's a local guy that he was Charlie's first coach. He's a super guy and he's like, he's happy for me. Like he wants Charlie to do well and all that stuff. And he texted me saying congratulations. And I just said, I'm really happy. I didn't say thanks. I said, I'm really happy for Aaron.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, but you, and I'm like,
yeah, we got some
I've got
too.
zero.
Yeah.
I got zero. I did not win. Look, I'm explaining to the world. I didn't win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I had a good chunk of time with Aaron and we spent a lot of time together and we worked on the ice and hopefully it helped him. But I didn't get him to the NHL like a lot of people have said. Not a lot. I hate talking about it. Anyways, I didn't get him to the NHL. And it's not my cup, but we're friends and I've worked with him and I'm happy for him.
Yeah. And it's funny because it goes back to how coaches are just resources and it's up to the player person to do the work, whatever, right? And Aaron was an exceptional case because whether he worked or not, he was always a head and shoulders above everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to people. I was like, he made the NHL. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
He used me for I was his coach. I coached him for a while.
You see the guys that they jump all over it right away the second like something happens.
Bothers me, man.
I know.
I was